All right, tonight, guys, I got a topic video for you. It's going to be, we're going to talk about modding and my thought process on it. So for the guys that are experienced modders or are already like deep into it one way or another, this isn't really going to pertain to you. This is more for the people that maybe are thinking about doing it. I get a lot of emails and I see all the comments on my videos where I do the mod watches, both the pros and the cons, and they're valid points on both sides, because the guy's saying that it's crazy to spend $400 or $800 or $2,000 into a Seiko SKX when a stock SKX with maybe you could mess around with different straps or bracelets. That's kind of modding on an entry level. It's totally fine. That's a fine watch on its own merit. And there's a lot of downside to modding as well. There's the dirty little secret of modding, as far as it's easy to ruin your watch. There's aspects of modding that maybe will disappoint you or let you down in some fashion, one way or another, whether it's a damage or maybe it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. So you can spiral out of control. I mean, you can go crazy deep into it because you start to get emotionally vested into it, and you just start throwing money at it. With any hobby, this can happen, with cars especially, but certainly can happen with watches in modding, and also even collecting watches. So I think one of the main things I'd like to make sure, especially people that are just getting into this hobby, and you're watching maybe my videos or other watch channel videos, and you see all these videos and you see all these watches coming and going. That's not necessarily realistic to how you are gonna have watches come and go out of your collection. These watches come and go out from my channel because this is what I'm doing. If I wasn't doing these YouTube videos, I would probably only see about half. I would still turn a lot of watches. That's just because I have the personality that most of us watch guys have. It's a very all or nothing personality. So you just go all in, and that can damage, that can cause problems, both financially, mentally. You can have problems with that. So you have to try to balance it out. Be careful what you do. Maybe slow down a little bit, focus more on your budget and what you really want in your watch. It's fine to run through watches and flip them and all that stuff, but just be careful. I would definitely recommend that. And when it comes to modding, like I said, there's disappointments. This is a watch that I modded for a friend of mine, and you can see this is a disappointment. I mean, he was super bummed out. The paint had flaked off. So I can get it on focus there. The paint had flaked off on the Coke bezel. He wanted the Coke style watch, and this was a nice first mod. It turned out overall pretty good, but then you had a material failure. So yeah, it's a bummer, but it's also an opportunity. So, and it's maybe not an opportunity that most people don't see it as an opportunity. I see it as an opportunity because now we're going to do this guy on there, and it's not going to happen again. And this watch is going to be awesome. I'm going to do a few other things to it, but if say I wasn't doing these mods for my buddy, and he doesn't do them, then now it becomes an expense. He has to buy the materials, he has to take it to a watch guy or send it into a modder. So, and that's where it kind of spirals out of control, where you've already vested this energy or this time and money into it, and then you have a failure like that, then you feel like you almost have to keep going instead of cut your losses. So, whereas if you pick up, a stock Seiko, yeah, like this guy here, you might spend anywhere from $600-700 all the way up to $1,000, but you don't need to mod it. This thing's good to go, which I will do a video on this soon. But I mean, this is a killer watch, and then even on a lower end, I mean, again, you could do with a stock Seiko SKX, totally fine. You know, you could do a Seiko Monster, but maybe that's not your style. But you can get these guys for $400 or $500, and you don't need to mod it. The thing that already has the hand wind and the hack and everything that most people want, you can get that in a turtle. You know, if your wrist, you know, if it works good on your wrist, it already has a lot of the things that guys like to mod their SKX to. You know, and then there's even some cool colorways of the turtle. So, you know, there's tons of options out there that you're going to have the same amount of money into these watches as you would, say, a modded SKX. This one here is, I think, a really nice build, but you're talking $400 in parts alone, not including any labor. So unless you're going to do it yourself, you're going to have labor cost. And then there still might be failures, even with, you know, a knowledgeable watchmaker or a buddy or a mod shop or something like that. So I guess this is a topic that I wanted to talk about because, like I said, I'm getting a lot of these comments and a lot of these emails and stuff like that. And I feel it's okay to almost what we call it maybe like window shop. It's okay to appreciate watches without feeling you need to buy them or you need to mod them. Like, appreciate that somebody modded a watch. It's totally fine to say, like, that's a killer looking watch. You know, to go find this Blue Lagoon turtle dial, you're not going to get the dial. You basically have to go buy the watch. Well, the watch is like $600, $700, $800. Well, that's insane. You're not going to do that. So appreciate when you see somebody modded out an SKX with the Blue Lagoon dial, because, you know, there's this one, and then I've seen maybe like 2 other ones posted up that are active on, you know, social media groups and stuff like that, and maybe there's a few more, but just appreciate that. It's kind of cool, you know, to see that, just like you would see any other kind of cool car or whatever you're into. It's okay, you know, you don't need to run out and try to mimic that or do that. Do your own thing. And if that own thing is a stock SKX, and then you throw on some cool NATOs or an Uncle Seiko bracelet or something like that, and keep it easy and manageable without upsetting the whole balance of everything and, you know, opening yourself up to potential failures, you know, such as this, or heading down that rabbit hole that is modding. Like, once you start entering down that, like, I guarantee you're almost probably not gonna stop. So you know, do it if you're ready to do it in your budget. Like, if you have the finances to do it, go for it. But it's not for everybody. Don't think you need to get into modding or collecting all of these watches, because that's maybe not realistic for you. So you know, take that however you guys want to take that. I feel like sometimes, you know, me doing a video every day and showing all these different watches, I worry that, you know, I even see a lot of viewers post up in the comments, they're like, oh, geez, I need to go buy this one, or I need to go buy that. No, you don't. You don't have to. Like what watches do you have? Maybe wear those and appreciate those. You know, if you're not wearing those, then maybe it is time to sell them and move on and buy another one. You know, pick up something cool and exciting and unique, you know, such as a bronze Borealis. You know, have a little bit of fun with the hobby if you want, but just don't overdo it. That's all I'm saying. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you tomorrow on the next video. Maybe we'll do that. Hey, I did promise, you know, because I didn't do the bezel action on this guy on the other video. So here's the bezel action. It's firm, consistent, and probably better than Seiko. And that's a crapshoot sometimes with aftermarket parts as well. This is the Namoki bezel, and it operates wonderfully. It's a little bit stiffer than, say, the SBDC 063. Yeah, it's definitely stiffer than this, but it's nice. It's nice to operate. So there's the bezel action on that. I forget who asked for that. I said it when I was reviewing this, and I forgot to do it. So there, I just did it toward the tail end of the video. So now, let's do a little loom action, because I have a bunch of Seikos here, and you know, the loom junkies should rejoice. All right, guys, see you on the next vid.